Hey, you too.
It's the Turks, man. Back at it with another banger, bro, from Hoop Venue, man. We got the Timberwolves solve their biggest problem, a.k.a. Julius Randle, man. Let's get straight into this banger.
Let's see.
It's been pretty quiet, but the Timberwolves are rapidly climbing the Western Conference ladder. Since getting Julius Randle back 2 weeks ago, they've gone 7-0 and are now just 3.5 games back from the 3 seed. What stands out most to me about this recent success has been the way they've utilized Randle since his return. It seems like the fit has been completely figured out, and 1 month out from the playoffs, this Minnesota team is looking like one of the best offenses in the league. During Randle's first 4 games back, Rudy Gobert was still out with an injury. That meant he was exclusively playing in 5-out lineups, and it's during these minutes where he really shows how valuable his skill set can be. Of course, they run most of their offense through Anthony Edwards, which means that Randle has to find ways to bring value away from the ball. He spends a lot of time spotting up on the perimeter, and whenever he finds himself in the corner, he's the guy that defenses choose to help off of in hopes of making him take a lot of threes. Over the past 3 seasons, he's made just 34% of his catch and shoot threes, and that's a shot defenses are more than comfortable giving up. I mean, still think there are instances where Randle lets the defense off the hook by taking these shots, especially when he's drawing a closeout. But I also think this has clearly been his most active season in terms of moving without the ball. When he's playing from the corner, he's constantly looking for opportunities to improve his position by floating along the baseline, and from the dunker spot, he's pretty devastating as an interior scorer. With that said, though, the Wolves have actually found more success taking him out of the corner and spotting him up on the wing. It's tougher to bring help from these spots, and through a combination of movement and quick decision making, he's been able to punish defense.
If they just can develop
within these 5-out lineups, it's less about having a bunch of shooting and more about having 5 guys on the floor who can all drive the ball and make good decisions. That compromises the defense and leaves a guy like Randle with space to cut into. Then in the event that he does catch the ball on the perimeter, that's where the quick decision making comes in. Sure, he's got some space to shoot, but by immediately handing the ball off to Ant and screening, they're able to create space laterally, which then leaves the knockdown shooter with a ton of space to pull up. Speaking of which, another way these 5-out lineups have unlocked Randle's value is as a screener. He's essentially playing the 5 for them on offense, and because he's such a big downhill threat, he's especially dangerous when rolling into open space. And all of that space again leaves him with room to work away from the ball. Another thing you'll often see do is battle down low to establish post position, sealing off defenders for easy passes and quick points. That post game is maybe Randle's most valuable attribute as a player. He's just such a big-time mismatch. Even against some of the game's strongest wings and forwards, he has no trouble bullying his way.
How you feel about Julius Randle's game, bro? 1 through 10, bro.
1 through 10?
What's his game looking like to you?
Wait, what you mean? Like, what am I rating?
You like his game?
Do I like his game? I wouldn't mind him on my team. Now, you're asking, like, would I play like him? Like, would I look at his game playing, like...
Play like him?
No.
Would you want him to be your second option?
On my team?
Yeah.
No. I'll take Jimmy over Julius Randle any day.
Facts, man.
But he's not a bad pickup.
He a quality piece.
Yeah, he's a... Yeah. I gotta see, though. I haven't really watched Julius. Like, I don't know. His game is too boring.
I don't like Julius bag, but I would have him on my team, though.
Yeah.
Wherever he wants to go, then he pairs that bully ball style of attacking with great vision as a passer. So when you surround him with 4 shooters, you're pretty much guaranteed to get good offense. And if a defense tries to counteract his strength as a creator by putting a bigger body on him, that's when he'll use his handle and agility to attack them in space. So he puts defenders in a really tough spot. You don't want to leave him one-on-one, but as soon as you load up early, he's kicking it out to a great shooter for a high percentage look. And this unique skill set makes Randle one of the most positionally versatile offensive players in the league, because not only can he play like a traditional 4 with the mid-post or elbow isolations, like a traditional 5 with the screening and battling for low post position, or even a 3 with the way he spots up and attacks defenses as a cutter, he can also initiate offense like a point guard. As long as you surround this guy with shooters and clear out for him to go to work with the ball, your team is gonna get a lot of open looks thanks to his ability to create advantage.
About to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Drive safely.
You know, later on, if Michael is not going anywhere, better put that car behind there.
Oh, okay.
These HOA people.
All right. Have a good day at work.
Advantages. This not only gets Ant off the ball more, it allows the Wolves to maintain really good offensive production when Ant's on the bench, as he fills the creation void in a way they previously couldn't, even on last year's roster with Cat. The thing is, Rudy Gobert came back 3 games ago. He isn't a shooter, a ball handler, or a great decision maker, which raises the question of how those two guys can coexist. To start the season, there were a ton of growing pains as those two couldn't really figure out the spacing, and the coaching staff struggled to find a consistent role for either one. But I'd actually argue that the fit between Randle and Gobert had been completely figured out in early
Julius
January.
game. I don't
It's just
know,
that
bruh.
both
It's
of those
too
guys
rugged.
got hurt, so we didn't get to see
not
too
enough
much
finesse,
of it.
bruh.
And it might be easy to forget that they were actually in the midst of a
He
5-game
play
win
like he's
streak
supposed to be
before
playing
Randle's
football.
injury, which means that individually he's actually won 12
In the
games
past,
in a row and hasn't lost since January 20th.
No
The way to
finesse,
make it
bruh.
work between a downhill bully ball style of creator and a non-shooting big is all about player positioning. So what the Wolves have done is they've had Randle initiate all of his offense from the left side of the floor. Whether that's in the corner, on the wing, or on the elbow, then they put Gobert in the deep dunker on the right side of the floor, making it really tough to bring help to the ball. When Randle's attacking the rim, it's no secret that he's looking to get to his left hand, so a rim protector coming from the right doesn't have as much of an impact. And if they set up with an empty corner, that means there's no defender who can reasonably impact Randle's left hand. So if he attacks baseline, Gobert's
can he
gonna
only go
flash
left?
to the middle of the paint, forcing rim protectors to make a tough
Hey.
decision. As a result, help typically has to come from somewhere else.
he goes
If the
left
goal
again.
is to take away his
Yeah,
left
he's
hand,
exposed.
that might
If I'm a
mean
coach,
the
bruh,
defense
force
sends
this nigga
help
right.
from the
What
left
you gonna do
corner,
though when Chris
which
Paul is
of
your
course
help?
means an easy kick out to one of Minnesota's shooters.
Well,
if he's
maybe
playing with his
not the
back to
Spurs,
the
but-
basket, help typically has to come from
mean,
up
we can
top,
see, like,
which again means an easy kick out.
If he
to
goes
an
right,
open
he's passing.
shooter
If he
for
goes
a
left, he's looking to
high-quality
score.
three.
That's an easy
If
game
he's
plan
playing
for
from
him.
the elbow, some defenses will try to force into the middle, then come with help at the nail. That takes
we're
away
talking
his
about here.
left, but it leaves a shooter
Pass.
open in the process,
he's just-
so
I
they're
just shot
still
them.
left with a 3.
Force him right and don't
so
help.
one thing I think
See
we'll
what he
see
can do.
more and more of
Make
is
him
a
eat off of
zone
that,
defense.
bro. Let's see if he can create right there.
Only with Randle in the middle
Force
and
him right,
Gobert
but don't
playing
lead a
from the
shooter.
deep
Just
dunker,
let him
they
create.
don't have much trouble picking apart those looks.
But if
And
it
if
was
you're
that easy,
wondering
then I
about
guess
where
NBA players
Conley
probably
or
see that,
Ant
so.
play into these lineups as ball handlers, instead of spread pick and roll, they've gone exclusively to open side looks. And with Randle's added utility as a screener, they can continue playing Gobert from the deep dunker to create as much space as possible. Pretty much the only time you'll see Gobert screening in a traditional spread pick and roll look during these minutes is if Randle's the one handling the ball and attacking downhill. And as
He's in
those
the
two
first
have built
right-hand
more
bucket.
chemistry,
He's in the NBA. Of
these
course he
actions
can
have
right-hand
become
layup.
so tough to defend because not only can Randle
Feel me?
bully
You
his
gonna get
way
back
to
to
the
that left
rim
every
or
drill.
get
Yeah,
to
nah,
a
for sure.
floater, if the big
Like,
steps
actually.
up, he can
Like,
float in a
he too
beautiful
big,
lob.
bro.
Like I
Yeah,
said, I
He
think the
too
fit
big,
between
bro.
these two has been mostly figured out since early January. If I had to pinpoint an exact date, I'd probably go with January 7th against the Pelicans, so we'll use that as the cutoff for some numbers. Before January 7th, Randle and Gobert had played over 700 minutes together, and during that time, the team had an offensive rating of 112.5, attempted about 22 free throws and shots at the rim every 100 possessions, and converted on about 69% of those interior looks. Since January 7th, they've played 284 minutes together, so a much smaller sample, but I think the fact that they've produced an offensive rating of 120.8, have gotten to the line almost 24 times and to the rim almost 27, while converting on 71% of those opportunities, suggests that they've started to figure some stuff out. They're creating more downhill pressure, they're scoring more efficiently, and that pairing has gone from one that produced a barely positive net rating to now boasting a plus 10.5. Within Minnesota's rotation, though, those two are pretty much only going to start and close games together. Everything in between is a stagger, so you're still getting more than half of Randall's minutes in those 5-out, supercharged offensive lineups, while they like to keep Ant and Gobert on the floor together so that those two can have heavy usage in the spread pick and roll. And I think their biggest superpower as a team is the amount of lineup versatility they now have on both ends of the floor. If they want to lean into the defense, they can run Ant, Gobert, and McDaniels with either one of Reed or Randall at the 4, or even slide Jaden up to the 4 and get Clark, Shannon, or Alexander Walker on the floor to occupy the wings. If they want to lean into the offense, they can run Ant, Randall, and Reed with any two wings of their choice to unlock that 5-out spacing with the constant slashing and high-level decision-making. They can go big, they can go small, they can go fast, they can put out lineups with 3 or 4 rim protectors. Come playoff time, this is a team that has the roster flexibility to counter any look an opponent sends their way. And as they've figured out all of the different dynamics, along with Ant playing like a legitimate superstar, this isn't a team that anyone should want to see in April. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be...
Great video, man. Hoop Venue, man. Once again, with another banger, man. Hoop Venue. Hey, leave what y'all think about Mr. Julius Randle and the Timberwolves. Do I think they're going anywhere in the West this season?
It could. I mean, now they're picking it up. It's actually good for the West.
I'm not going to lie. Damn, bro. The West is just too deep. I got to wait.
Yeah, bro.
We're too deep, bro. It's just bad, bro. But shout out Hoop Venue again for another banger, man. His link will be down in the description. Y'all leave us some suggestions. Oh, somebody said we should react to all the Duke games.
All the Duke games?
Yeah, somebody said that.
Like this year?
Yeah, someone said that.
Okay, good.
I guess so.
No problem.
Yeah, we're going to look into that for sure. Yeah, it's your boy JC.
It's your boy Mike.
Catch y'all on the next banger, man. Don't forget to
Shout out, guy.
Shout out, guy, man.